Well, joining us from CommSec now for a look at the markets today, Tom Piotrowski. Tom, we've got that news from the United States overnight that the Fed Reserve has finally pressed pause on its rate hike program. How much of a storyline is that going to be today?
Well, Pete, it's important, but equally so, it's valuable to create the context around that pause. There was a very widely discussed recognition that the job when it comes to managing inflation is not nearly complete and that more rate hikes are expected in the near to medium term. And within the Fed's forecast, the expectation is that we'll see 2 more quarter-point hikes in the near term. And that's not dissimilar to what we're seeing in terms of the conversation around the RBA's pathway as well. The market pricing in terms of RBA decisions between now and the end of the year, the turn around an expectation of 2 more quarter-point rate hikes. So in terms of the response from the markets, there was actually a pretty choppy pathway for the stocks afterwards. We had the S&P 500 up by as much as 0.5% before the decision. It bounced around a fair bit, well into negative territory at one stage before finishing just in positive territory. That's the broader US market. The Nasdaq was equally bouncy and it finished with a gain of 0.4%, and the Dow was down by around 0.2%. So now we've kind of got a little bit of a bit of breathing space when it comes to the US, but not so when it comes to the local market. But because today, Pete, we've got the release of the May unemployment report. So these figures will be quite important in terms of determining what the RBA does next month. If you see a number vastly larger than 17,500, that's the number of jobs that we're expecting to have been added to the economy in the month of May, or the unemployment rate lower than 3.7%, then we'll be talking another quarter of a point next month with a little more enthusiasm or energy.
Okay, so that's the number today, 17,500. We're above that, we go up another 25 points.
Yeah, look, it's obviously not that binary, but substantially north of 17,500, or even if for a mystical reason you sort of saw that unemployment rate bump down again, then you're going to see that conversation around rate hikes emerge again.
We will see. Tom, thank you. Talk to you later.